The Mitsubishi Ki-46 was a twin-engine reconnaissance aircraft used by the Imperial Japanese Army in World War II. Its Army Shiki designation was Type 100 Command Reconnaissance Aircraft. The Allied nickname was Dinah. Development and design. On December 12, 1937, the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force issued a specification to Mitsubishi for a long-range strategic reconnaissance aircraft to replace the Mitsubishi Ki-15. The specification demanded an endurance of 6 hours and sufficient speed to evade interception by any fighter in existence or development, but otherwise did not constrain the design by a team led by Tomio Kiboa to the first I-1 quarter in 1931 graduate from the aeronautical section of the Faculty of Engineering at Tokyo Imperial University, whose aesthetics are densely infused to this elegant aircraft. The resulting design was a twin-engined, low-winged monoplane with a retractable tailwheel undercarriage. It had a small diameter oval fuselage which accommodated a crew of 2, with the pilot and observer situated in individual cockpits separated by a large fuel tank. Further fuel tanks were situated in the thin wings both inboard and outboard of the engines, giving a total fuel capacity of 1,490 L. The engines, 2 Mitsubishi Ha-26s, were housed in close-fitting cowlings developed by the Aeronautical Research Institute of the Tokyo Imperial University to reduce drag and improve pilot view. The first prototype aircraft, with the designation Ki-46, flew in November 1939 from the Mitsubishi factory at Kakamigahara, Gifu, north of Nagoya. Tests showed that the Ki-46 was underpowered, and slower than required, only reaching 540 km per hour rather than the specified 600 km per hour. Otherwise, the aircraft tests were successful. As the type was still faster than the Army's latest fighter, the Nakajima Ki-43, as well as the Navy's new A-6M2, an initial production batch was ordered as the Army Type 100 Command Reconnaissance Plane Model 1. To solve the performance problems, Mitsubishi fitted Ha-102 engines, which were Ha-26s fitted with a 2-stage supercharger, while increasing fuel capacity and reducing empty weight to give the Ki-46 2, flying in March 1941. This met the speed requirements of the original specification, and was ordered into full-scale production, with deliveries starting in July. Although at first the Ki-46 proved almost immune from interception, the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force realized that improved Allied fighters such as the Supermarine Spitfire and P-38 Lightning could challenge this superiority, and in July 1942, it instructed Mitsubishi to produce a further improved version, the Ki-46-3. This had more powerful, fuel-injected Mitsubishi Ha-112 engines, and a redesigned nose, with a fuel tank ahead of the pilot and a new canopy, smoothly fed from the extreme nose of the aircraft, eliminating the step of the earlier versions. The single defensive machine gun of the earlier aircraft was also omitted. The new version first flew in December 1942, demonstrating significantly higher speed at 6,000 m. The performance of the Ki-46-3 proved superior to that of the aircraft intended to replace it, which as a result did not enter production. In an attempt to yet further improve the altitude performance of the Ki-46, 2 prototypes were fitted with exhaust-driven turbo-supercharged Ha-112 2RU engines, flying in February 1944, but only 2 prototypes of this version were built. Mitsubishi factories made a total of 1,742 examples of all versions, 34 units Ki-46I, 1093 units Ki-46-2, 613 units Ki-46-3, 4 units Ki-46 IV 1/4 per mil during 1941-44. Operational history. This aircraft was first used by the Japanese Army in Manchukuo in China, where 7 units were equipped with it, and also at times by the Japanese Imperial Navy in certain reconnaissance missions over the northern coasts of Australia and New Guinea. The Japanese Army used this aircraft for the same type of missions over present-day Malaysia during the months before the Pacific War. Later, it was used for high-altitude reconnaissance over Burma, Indochina, Thailand, and the Indian Ocean. The Ki-46 was regarded by the British RAF in Burma as a difficult aircraft to counter, only occasionally intercepting them successfully. On September 25, 1944, Flying Officer Whitred shot down a Ki-46, using a personally modified Spitfire Mk-8. Whitred had removed 2 machine guns and the seat armor, and also polished the wing leading edges to gain extra speed. The leading American fighter pilot Richard Bong, flying a P-38 Lightning, managed to shoot down a Ki-46 over the coast of Papua New Guinea in late 1942. Indiana, 1944-45, during the last days of the war, it was modified as a high-altitude interceptor, with 2 20mm cannon in the nose and 1 37mm cannon in an upwards and forwards position, almost like the Luftwaffe Euro-S recurrency GE Music night fighter cannon emplacements, for fighting USAAF B-29's superfortresses over the metropolitan Japanese islands. It lacked stability for sustained shooting of the 37mm weapon, had only a thin layer of armor plating, lacked self-sealing fuel tanks, and was slow to climb. The Ki-46 was also assigned to 2-hole Sentai, as well as individual Shutoriko in the Imperial Japanese Army Air Service, during the Pacific War. The Allies captured some examples during the conflict which were then repaired and flown for evaluation purposes. Survivors. The only known survivor is a Ki-46-3 Army Type 100 example, currently on display at Royal Air Force Museum Cosford. It was captured in Malaya and became part of the RAF St. Athan collection of historic aircraft, before passing to the RAF Museum at RAF Cosford where it is currently on public display. Variants, note, the Shiki designations must be used in full, as written below, because the type number only refers to the year of the design's inception. Army Type 100 Command Reconnaissance Plane, the Shiki designation for the Ki-46 Command Reconnaissance Plane, Army Type 100 Air Defense Fighter, the Shiki designation for the Ki-46 Interceptor Fighter, Army Type 100 Assault Plane, the Shiki designation for the Ki-46 Assault Plane, Ki-46, Prototype. Ki-46I, reconnaissance version of the Ki-46. Ki-46-2, the first operational model of the series. Ki-46-2 Kai, 3-seat training version of the Ki-46. Used for radio and navigation training, with a redesigned cabin, dorsal echeloned extension. Conversions of the Ki-46-2. Ki-46-3, a Euro traditional Euro unregistered trademark stepped windshield replaced with a smooth, curved, glazed panel extended over the pilot a Euro unregistered trademark S-seat giving an aerodynamic nose. Engine power increased to 1,500 horsepower, extra fuel tank added in the nose. Ki-46-3 Kai, defense interceptor night fighter version of the Ki-46. Equipped with 2 20mm cannon in the nose and 1 37mm cannon in the recurrency GE Music style upwards aimed dorsal frontal position. Ki-46-3, land strike version of the Ki-46, without 37mm cannon armament. Ki-46 ground attack version. Ki-46 and built design project. Ki-46-4, prototype, equipped with 2 turbocharged 1,119 kW Mitsubishi Ha-112 Iru engines, and more fuel capacity. Ki-46 series models of reconnaissance fighter aircraft, and built design projects. Operators, France, French Air Force, captured aircraft. Japan, Imperial Japanese Army Air Force, Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service, People's Republic of China, Chinese Communist Air Force. 2 captured Ki-46s in Communist Chinese hands served as a ground attack aircraft and a trainer respectively, and the last Ki-46 retired in early 1950s. Specifications, data from Japanese aircraft of the Pacific War, general characteristics, crew, 2, length, 11.00 meters, wingspan, 14.70 m, height, 3.88 m, wing area, 32.0 miles squared, empty weight, 3,263 kilograms, loaded weight, 5,050 kilograms, max takeoff weight, 5,800 kilograms, power plant, 2A, Mitsubishi Ha-102 Army Type 1 14-cylinder radial engines, 807 kilowatts each, performance, maximum speed, 604 km per hour at 5,800 m, cruise speed, 400 km per hour, range, 2,474 km, service ceiling, 10,720 m, wing loading, 157.8 kilograms mass squared, climb to 8,000 m, 17 minutes 58 seconds, armament, guns, 1A, rearward firing 7.7 mm Type 89 machine gun. See also, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, de Havilland Mosquito, Messerschmitt Me 410, Nakajima J1N, related lists, list of aircraft of World War II. References, notes. Bibliography. External links, Vector site article.